Okay, let's go to Garba in Abuja. For Professor of International Law, Ake Oyewode, he referenced the North using the oil revenue from the South as a bad idea. Really? Is the North short of avenues to wealth creation aside from dependence on oil?
You see, Gimba, we don't have reason in the North to actually continue to depend on what comes from the oil. Why am I saying this? Look at the vast land we have in Nigeria, particularly the North. Not just that, we still have even the wetlands in some part of the states. Now, do you know that even talking about probably like the number of cattle being moved, or cows, goats, sheep, donkeys, and all that being moved from the north to the south, to the Lagos particularly? Do you know how many cows or how many of these things we're talking about? They are enough to generate enough revenue.
Why
we are not
thinking
about probably sending these things down, can't we on our own within the region find a way to process some of this meat? Do we have one functional meat factory in the north? What about the granules? What happened to the granule pyramids that we used to have? Is it not possible that we can still bring back the same pyramids? What about the cottons? We have the vast land. You move from Maiduguri, coming down to Yobe, you link up to Jigawa, you go to Kano, down to northwest. We have enough land, but the budget, Ministry of Agriculture, annually, where does the budget go in? I mean, what do we spend the budget into? These are the issues we have. Unless we have good governance, we will be able to account for whatever goes into the coffers of government for the purpose of agriculture, for the purpose of industrialization, for the purpose of economic growth. I can tell you, if really we have good leadership, Nigeria's stand, particularly the North, is enough to feed the whole of this continent, not just Nigeria.
Problem lie, though, because with all that you have enumerated, there hasn't been a physical evidence that the economy of the North is growing, as it were, as the money is going back into the wrong hands.
Yeah, obviously, you just captured it right. Money has been going into the wrong hands. Particularly, you look at the budgets and look at the percentage of the budget that goes into just salary. Why are we always spending almost 75% of the budget annually paying salaries? Are we not supposed to look at probably what should be done practically? Allow the politicians to do their own politics. But what we need is to have at least industrialization to be in the forefront, agriculture to be in the forefront. Let us have enough resources that will be channeled towards this. And the number of youths we have in this part of the country is enough to at least put us in the forefront.
Okay, let me put you on hold for a minute or two and come back to Mr. Ganyu here with me. We're looking at this scenario and how best the state government can adopt to improve on this. But the lake rise has hit the core of Nigeria today and even beyond. Is it sustainable, though?
Yes. We're making the sustainability plan such that we can be able to have lake rise year in, year out. So that it can be a yearly round affair. So the sustainability plan is hinged on our ability to quickly fix, those rice processing plants that we're looking at. Already, as we talk, we have a 2.5 metric tons per hour rice processing mill in the mortar. We're fixing it, pushing it up. And the federal government has been magnanimous enough to approve an 8 metric tons per hour rice processing mill, which we will very soon would receive and install. And again, as a state, we're also trying to upscale what we have to turn the 2.5 metric tons per hour to 42.5 metric tons per hour.
That's all impressive, but of more concern is how you monitor the equitable distribution of this lake rice, just so that middlemen do not make it more expensive?
You know what we have done initially? What we have done is to, create, to establish those designated centers in the 3, senatorial districts. That's where we can have our eyes all over and do close monitoring. And so far, so good. What we experience on that is that people complain that, it's very stressful to access the lake rice. For that reason, we are rejigging the process. We are rejigging the distribution process such that the distribution process will become seamless and easy for Lagosians
to have access
to access. So what we have done in that direction is to decentralize it to the 57 local governments.
I'm afraid that
by next week,
we're going to have to leave it. I want to thank you so much indeed for explaining that much to us. The Special Advisor, Food Security, Ganyu Sani, to the Lagos State Governor. I want to thank you so much indeed. But Garba Ibrahim will be staying with us still. We'll have also Sani, that will be Sabi Abdullahi, to discuss the SGF's pending OK from the Senate. That's coming up shortly after we return. You're watching State of the Nation. We'll be back after these messages. Join us again.